episode of the weekly wrap up. What's going on, y'all?
Man, blessed to be here again, man. It's hectic all over right now, bro. It's
And the world always something crazy going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But before we start, man, shout out to the good people over here at Digital Empress Studios. Gotta shout them out. But yeah, man, how was your week going so far, King?
Busy.
Okay.
Busy, yo. Just just running, man. Work, family. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah, man.
Working fam.
I ain't gonna lie, you got this unpredictable weather. 1 minute it's hot, cold. It's hard to really adjust, but
That's facts.
we here. Weather in the storm. I see I got my man Ryan in the building. He just walked in. I see you, King. But yeah, man, let's see. Let's talk about it. A lot of things to discuss today. I really want to start off with the Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf situation.
Yeah.
A lot of people right now have been reacting to this incident that took place where Carmelo Anthony was essentially defending himself, right?
Yeah.
Approached by one or maybe both twins. I know one person lost his life, unfortunately, but essentially Carmelo was defending himself.
Absolutely.
Against someone who tried to forcibly remove him
Right.
from under a tent that he did not own. You know what I mean? But according to reports, witness accounts, they're saying that essentially this individual, Austin, he was warned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen, touch me again,
You're gonna find out.
you're going to find out. And that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, someone lost their life. But, what are your thoughts on this situation now? A lot of people are reacting to the hypocrisy, you know what I mean? Seeing how you had similar situations in the past, of course, with white people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Kyle Rittenhouse,
you know.
Dylan, goodness.
I was going to say, what was his name? Daniel Penny, I think. his
Yeah,
name.
Daniel Penny. Yeah, they say he was a hero, bro.
You see what I'm saying? We've seen situations where online, the narrative, the support, you know what I mean, is essentially
It
in
gauges
favor.
based off of what they look like.
Exactly.
And that's just the reality that we live in. It's a tragedy anytime somebody lose their life, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a situation like this, as a parent, I would say this. If it was one of my children, yo, you better teach your kids to keep their hands to their fucking self. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because your child has no right to put their hands on my child, especially in a situation like that where this child was granted permission to sit under a tent at a track meet because it's raining. You know what I'm saying? It's a track meet that is raining. So everybody trying to get undercover. He got permission from a coach to sit under the tent. And to have whatever history that they had is high school. You know what I'm saying? So, you got dudes that's walking around there that think is their way. You know what I mean? It's a jungle out there sometimes in high school. And it's a pecking order with some of these things. These guys, they twin brothers, but a witness said that they forcibly tried to remove him from under the tent.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was warned, and they attempted, and they said there was a size difference. Like he was like 100 pounds heavier than Shorty.
Yeah, I seen some stories where one person said that they tried to jump him, they broke his phone.
Right.
I even seen something where people were saying that there were issues before this
incident, right.
You know what I mean? So again, but the point is, homie was defending
Who's defending himself.
And now you got people upset because money was raised on his behalf. From what I seen in reports, over 300,000.
Rightfully so, man. Like this the thing. This ain't the 50s. This ain't the 50s. It ain't none of them days no more, bro. So like trying to whatever culture, them trying to bring that culture back and instill it and normalize it again, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. We ain't going for it. This the wrong generation to play that shit with. It's the wrong generation.
Not
like
real shit.
I don't understand like that we ain't never going back to that. That's never gonna happen again.
No.
We ain't never going back to that. Or you know what I mean? Or it's just gonna be war. And then the reality of it is,
come on, man.
It's more of us than it is them.
And to me, that's the ill shit about all of this, is seeing the hypocrisy get exposed in real life, real time on social media, where people are like, well, hold up. you've had situations where people defended themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got people arguing the fact that he brought a knife.
But you know how common it is? Like, yo, everybody carry a knife, yo. Like, we in Baltimore, yo. Yo, everybody got a knife, yo.
You ain't lying.
Everybody got a knife. So
and everybody not John Wick or some shit with the knife. You know what I mean? They not true specialists with the knife. Sometimes people wear it for their own protection, but the point is, you've had those who came to school with an assault rifle. And no one argued that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
jump state lines.
Come on.
Jump state lines to go defend property that they didn't own.
Come on.
And was found innocent of murdering people. You know what I'm saying? Was found innocent of shooting people.
But yet people was...
And made himself a victim.
Right. Defending them in that situation. Here we got a situation where a young man defending himself, so now we not allowed to defend ourselves.
Yo, I heard people calling this kid a stone cold killer. Like, oh, he had... Like, capital murder is he planned on doing that.
Yeah, come on.
Yo, come on, man. You know what I mean? And it's just like... It's sickening. And it's just, I always talk about the power of media, like, all the time, or like, and how, like, we have to dictate our narrative, bro. Like, that's why this is so necessary, like, to have these voices and these opinions for us, bro, because back in the day, we didn't have no voice. You know what I mean? And let alone the ability to reach masses in the instance. Man, we ain't going for that shit.
I mean, I think that's the thing with today, and what I encourage to see, you know, I hope to see more of is us congregating and more so not on these platforms.
Yeah.
Because we know that they're heavily monitored by big brothers, they once would say, you know what I mean? And everything isn't for public consumption. Right now, it's a war. It's really been a war. Yeah. Racism, white supremacy, all these things have been around. It's never left, you know, for whatever
media
reason.
Warfare. Yeah, it's all type of warfare.
These things, you know, they've just evolved in a new way, right? And when it comes to us, we got to be more mindful of how we unite, you know, amongst each other in situations like this. It's just good to see people fight, you know, combat against these phony narratives.
Yeah, facts.
Where it's logic. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he should have never put his hands on them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there are those who feel like they have that privilege, you know, because they're white, that, you know, maybe they come from a family who got money, connections, that they can do and say whatever they want. And unfortunately, somebody had to lose their life, but a lesson is now learned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Will it change things moving forward? We shall see, you know what I mean? But as you see now with, you know, Trump, and it's really hard to say, because the internet and real life, two different things.
Right.
If you live off the internet every day, it gives you a false sense of reality.
Facts.
When you come outside, you realize the internet,
right. It depends on where you at, right? Like here, man, that shit ain't, man, come on, bro. Like, man, that happens here every day. You know what I mean? That's something that happens here every day. But the reality of the situation is, if you teach your children to keep their hands to themselves, you don't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? So
and to defend themselves.
And to defend themselves.
Yes, because we are not in a time where someone is just going to tolerate abuse.
Absolutely.
Right? Listen, like he said, we are past the whole protesting, you know, asking, begging. Bro, at the end of the day, I don't have to beg for respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's something that we worth dying for.
That's a fact.
Over. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
We all have our right to be respected on this planet. So regardless of what color you have, you know what I mean? We passed that, right? And it's a perfect segue, because you look at the Trump and the job he's done thus far, a lot of controversy with the tariffs. You know, again, I'm not a political expert. None of us are.
Right.
But, you know, we'd be lying to you if we didn't see some of the rhetoric that's been taking place online in regards to the job he's done thus far. What do you think about Trump's performance as president thus far? Hearing all of the controversy this week, man.
I think I've always said this, man. I think he's an old, demented white dude. You know what I mean? And he thinks like old white men. You know what I mean? We like the hypocrisy of everybody complaining about Joe Biden's age, and you're only 3 years younger than Joe Biden. You know what I mean? Like, right. I think it's the hypocrisy of how people will bend and forge narratives to go with, you know what I mean? So they have it their way. I think that you never going to change the opinion of somebody or how they view the world, who experienced, who lived through, who had money during the civil rights era, who watched, you know what I mean, who watched us at a certain point in time be at the absolute lowest, you know what I mean, in society, that's never going to change his viewpoint. You know what I mean? Regardless of where he's at in life, he's always had money. He's been a millionaire since the day he was born.
Right.
He's never going to be able to relate to the everyday man. Everything else that you see on TV is bread and circuses. It's an act.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear niggas defending him like, oh, he gave Jesse Jackson money. Like, man, so what? Like, I don't care about that. I care about what I see right now. And there's no way that you could defend and say that these policies, the culture, the tone, they just want a white dude in charge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Even at the expense of burning down the country.
Everything.
Burning everything down. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's the dumbest shit ever.
But
I ain't gonna lie.
When you go back and you listen to some of the speakings or teachings from the lectures from Malcolm X, you study history.
Yeah.
I know today we're in this era where it's cool to shit on the OGs and those, but that was never our thing growing up. We were instilled into giving, respect and paying homage to those who paved the way. So for those who are of the internet era today, go back, study those, you know what I'm saying, who really spoke against the government and all the things they've been doing against not just our community, but many communities in this country.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even on a global aspect, it's always a war about something. You know what I mean? Here in America, we fight our fight the best way that we can.
Right.
But essentially, the viewpoint has always been the same. You got those who feel like the system must be destroyed. Then you got those who feel like they can defeat it from within. You know what I mean? We must have a seat at the table. We must have a voice inside to truly have a shot. And that's the gray area in which I live, because I see pros and cons on both aspects. You know what I mean? Where's there a place where we have respect, where, we can have our own place to govern our own institutions, schools, whatever, our own communities, because now everything seems to be codependent on the system.
Right.
Whereas, if we're not a part of these new policies, right, if things are being dropped and we're just sitting here with our hands out trying to figure out what's next, I mean,
get left behind.
Come on.
Yeah. I think
that's where we at right now.
Yeah, that's where we at right now.
Yeah.
This is either going to be a turn for society. Either we're going to be under a fascist trend going forward, and we're going to accept it, or the people ain't going to take it. It's going to be one of two things. The way it's headed, it looks bad, right? But they have to do these things. You know what I mean? This is media warfare. It's psychological warfare. It's spiritual warfare.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's all different angles, like in this political realm, like from which how you take in the news or where you get your news from.
That's a fact.
Like all these things matter. So like I think that it's nothing new. We've seen this before. We read about it before. You know what I mean? For like our generation, it's our first time seeing it like to this extreme. I think that it's not gonna fly, bro. It's not gonna fly, man. Like I can't see it happening. They're gonna try the warmongering, the stock market stuff. Yo, it's insane,
man.
which is crazy. Yo, like I seen somebody say, yo, I lost 20% of my wealth yesterday.
Yeah.
And they never gonna get it back. They not gonna get that money back in their lifetime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know it's bad when you got billionaires upset, up in arms. You know what I mean? And initially, a lot of people who voted for this guy was told, something, that they were going to get something out of this. And now a lot of people are kind of just like heartbroken at the fact that he hasn't delivered.
Yo, but like, what do you expect? Yo, and that's my real question, yo. Like, what did they really expect? Like, and then like, I hate the idea of people.
An honest politician.
Yeah, an honest politician. He's a businessman. He's not a politician. Yeah, his business doing great.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And yours, he gonna tank yours.
And you know what's bad with Elon over there? Like, I don't know.
Right.
First he was like, "This is my guy." Now he like, let me step back.
Yo, I always made a comparison. Yo, like it should be an age limit on the presidency, in my opinion. Like nobody wants. I always made a comparison like, yo, my grandmother, I used to eat all my grandmother food, bro, till she got like around like 78. You know what I mean? And then when she started slowing down a little bit, it wasn't the same because it wasn't the same effort. You know what I'm saying? She losing some of her skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all of that naturally. So I wouldn't ask her to give me a ride. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't ask her to give me a ride. Like there's certain things like just honestly speaking, for what we need in a president, you know what I mean? For someone to be the CEO of the country. Yo, why would you leave that in an old dude hands? You know what I mean? Not a old dude, but that old dude.
I mean, it's a pattern. No matter who the
It don't matter.
is,
It's the
they
same
old,
results.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over a certain age, and it seems as if they want to keep certain principles intact. No
Right.
matter how far on the timeline we get, certain things, right? Whether it's white privilege, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They want to make shit stay intact, you know, regardless of how forward we move, how fluid things are with this new generation. Because even then, you know, the younger demographic of the white population, you know, they got social media, and even though they're being conditioned, you know what I mean, to live one way,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the reality is
They want to live like the dudes they read about.
there you go.
Yeah, they want to experience that. But see,
The world is heavily influenced
Yeah.
by black culture, you know what I mean, around the world. So knowing that, it's hard to really gatekeep. This is why they try to remove the history out of the
Absolutely.
books, because they don't want to continuously to be shamed, as they would say, guilted for the actions of their ancestors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really what you're seeing right now with Trump and everything, with them trying to do this attack on black history. It's the fact that, you know, it is history.
Right.
Everything that white people have done, their ancestors have done in this country, is American history.
Mhm.
The treatment of black people, that's American history.
Absolutely.
You trying to erase it only makes you guys look even
It been worse. Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? And it's trying to basically take us further from reality and more into this world of delusion.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I
and
mean?
that's really that's really all it is, yo. Like, man,
I love it. I sit back. You know, if Paul Mooney was alive today, God
oh man,
bless him,
he'd be
so much
my
material,
God.
just eating popcorn. Like I told y'all, America, y'all are partly responsible for the condition that it's in now. Now, us as black people, listen, we played this song and dance for so long, but now it's time to come back home. It's time to plan, plot, strategize. It's
Right.
time to restore the family within the community and start creating our own organizations that's really dependent upon ourselves,
Right.
self-sufficient. You know what I
Right.
mean? Listen, if you feel like at some point when the smoke is settled that we're gonna have a say, you sadly mistaken. You've seen
Yeah.
it through sports, through
It's rigged,
entertainment.
yo.
Come on, I
It's
mean,
rigged.
where can we get our respect? We've already achieved enough history as it is, and it still ain't enough.
Right.
In the end, it's
It-
still about the
Right.
same bullshit it was centuries ago.
They,
You know
I
what
mean, they making it clear, right? And just in wording and language and everything, like this wasn't made for us. The way this country was, it wasn't made. We weren't included in the.
Mhm.
We were not planned to be included in it.
Not to be treated
Not
as
to be
human
treated
beings.
as human beings.
Yes.
Right.
No, they want to treat us like they treat the animals that they killed to produce the food.
Right.
Stay in
Yeah,
stock.
absolutely.
Fast food chains. You get me? Like, it's certain things where it's all about the dollar,
Mm-hmm.
even at the expense of a race of people.
Absolutely.
Come on. I mean, but again,
But yo, we built like yo. The thing about it is, yo, we don't need them, and that's the whole thing about it. We don't need them; they need us, and that's the reality. That's the reality of it. That's why all the history of the black towns, black cities. That's why they went and knocked them all down, because they couldn't operate and make it without them.
and that's the thing that I think white people got to understand, that they need us.
Yeah, you need us.
You can't have a world with no melanated people. You know, that's a short.
It's not natural. It's not natural law. It's not natural law for the world. It's not. We make the world go round. That's just what it is.
fact.
We make the world go round, and until that's in the right place, you know what I mean? Like society, in place in society, societal wise,
Mm-hmm.
and we always gonna be messed up. Like I ain't saying it like I ain't gotta say it. You know what I'm saying? The history say it. You know what I mean? For what we are. You know, and they know, bro. Like I've had conversations with white people, you know, in regards to like race relations and them actually knowing like the real history and where we come from. You know what I mean? And all that, and knowing that everything, we was everywhere. And now we was here, we was there, we
in the world.
we was
Every
everywhere.
continent.
Yeah, we was on every continent.
Yes.
So like the whole thing, that's the secret. It's not even a secret. It's just the history. It is what it is, and they know that. So I mean, that's why almost essentially like stock. Like we're here for their advancement. Almost, you know what I mean? And it's just like, nah, like them days are over with. Like
No.
you know we whoop your ass, right? You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, it comes down to the point where you have to do what's right by, God's children, humanity. It's gotten to a point where we produce so much, and for what? You look at all the categories of the important things, we rank in all high in all the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? The message that's being sent to society, whether schools,
Right.
Schools are underfunded or people stealing funding from the schools.
Right.
That gives the impression that society doesn't care about education.
Yo, bro.
or the children.
But we used to have community teachers. You know what I mean? We used to have community teachers and like things of that nature. Like we lost sense of community, and when we lost that, we lost our power. And that's
for what? And what did we lost? The chase to be rich.
Right.
Right? To be a star, to be, whatever it is that they sell.
For likes. And you know what I mean? For likes and views and the twerk. And, you know what I'm saying? Like
we could talk about this
that all day. Right.
But before we move to our next topic, I wanted to say this. I notice a lot of people on the Democratic side as if like, I told y'all so. We warned y'all. You got to understand there's pros and cons to everything.
Right.
Now, granted, when we look back in history, I'll never be a person that you would say was on the side of Trump. Hell no. I don't fuck where we are in history.
There were certain things.
But when it comes to Democrats and their support system, understand you're doing in all of this as well. The fact that you didn't want to listen to those who said, yo, we're tired of the pandering. We're tired of the song and dance of, y'all not thinking that we can have intellectual conversations about politics that isn't centered around cookouts and parties and twerking.
And twerking, right.
You get what I mean? You created this mindset where now people like, yo, we want options. So therefore, this is why people went with the other side. You know what I mean? Whereas you have people who are more independent, right, when it comes to that political vote. And I think that's where we have to consider moving forward instead of just, easily giving up our votes to red and blue. At the end of the day, we've seen what's at the end of that. You know what I mean? No matter how much you look at it or no matter how much you contribute to the system, we still getting the same bullshit.
It's the same results.
Yes.
Yeah, like,
come on.
I ask people, like, name a president that you live your life that made your life better. And you can't. You know what I mean? Like, the reality of it is, ain't no president ever going to enhance your life. You know what I mean?
It's not one person is impossible.
Right. Absolutely.
Look at the condition of the world today, right? There are people who were born, 2000, 2001. Some would argue I ain't had nothing to do with what happened before my time. You get what I mean?
Right.
But at the end of the day, we all have a responsibility to change the condition that we're in right now. Because what's the common ground? Shit, humanity being a threat.
Right.
You talking about wars and all of this shit as a potential backlash from the decisions based upon our so-called president, right? Making these decisions. We're all affected, whether you black, white, or whomever.
Right.
You're an American citizen.
Absolutely.
Once you leave this land, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the funny thing about the situation is that America needs to take care of its own people. You know what I mean? That way you don't have to worry about looking to your left and your right.
Yeah.
When shit hit the fan.
My only thing is, they fucking with Social Security, bro. Yo, hey, listen. Niggas gonna ride off that. People gonna ride off of that. They gonna lose their shit off that, bro. Like, I'm mad at y'all since I was 13, yo. Ooh. Yeah, I had y'all since I was 13, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, ain't no way. Oh, man, come on, yo.
What's up, yo?
Oh, man, come on, yo. I hit you too, yo. Hey, yo, I had y'all since I was 13, bro. If they take the people's money, yo, that paid into Social Security, bro, people gonna lose their shit.
That's why I said a lot of people realizing they've been duped right now. And I think right now it's time to really lock in, you know what I mean? Focus on your health, focus on your family, get your business in order. I'm seeing a lot of rhetoric about flipping your 401k and all that. Listen, man, don't be desperate making red decisions.
Definitely do not.
Please take heed, get the information. I'm not an expert, so I'm not gonna tell y'all what to do, what not to do. All I will say is just try to hold off before you make these decisions, because right now this shit is real.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
I mean, people with families, they don't work hard.
It's going to get worse before it get better, and that's the reality of it right now. Right, it's definitely going to get worse before it get better. I would say that for some people, like just prepare, yo. Like while everybody out here partying and whatnot, bro. Like it's gonna come a day where all that shit is not gonna matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with these people in power right now, it's looking more sooner than later. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
We're gonna see.
We're gonna see.
I will say, right now, prayers to those affected in New York. I heard a helicopter crash.
Yeah. That's like the fifth, sixth crash, yo.
I don't know what's going on out here in the world right now, but like I said, as you can see, aside from the entertainment, man, real life situations, every day, right now I think they said it was like 6 people was on the helicopter.
Yeah.
Tourists from Spain, if I'm not mistaken. So again, like I said, man, prayers to everybody involved because that's crazy.
That's crazy as hell.
About like an hour ago, they got the video footage. But yeah, like I said, every day you turn on the news, you're seeing something wild out here, man. I ain't even gonna front. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's we just live in like that constant information loop, yo. Like it's just instantaneous. There's always something happening. It's insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of yo, so even going to like the Tariff shit, yo, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a theory. Well, allegedly, it's not even a theory because they talked about it. But essentially, you heard about they trying to eliminate the IRS or fastest at the IRS.
I hear it. Trying to eliminate the income state tax and all that.
Yeah, like they working on ERS was external instead of internal, external revenue service.
I did see that, right?
Yeah, and essentially fund everything off of the ERS that's coming from trading with other countries. I don't know. From what I heard a lot of economists say it ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a finance guy. None of that. But the idea of it sounds good. You know what I mean? Completing it, I think it's gonna be a bigger, harder task.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. It's hard to really say what's what in regards to the information because, like you said, so many platforms are either against Trump, for Trump. So I just take things with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? But we gonna see. We gonna see exactly what happens, man. Did you see the NBA news, man? You seen the Nuggets? They,
Yo, that's crazy.
they fired their head coach and I think their GM or something to that effect.
Yo, I think they said Mike Malone went off on them and told them, yo, what they won? 2 chips?
I think 1 from what I know.
Nah, they got 2.
The Nuggets won 2 championships? Hold on, let me see. I don't know. No, but I think that's 1. I think they won 1. Let me see.
Jokic got 2.
Damn, son, in my 2023. Yeah. Just 2023. Yeah.
Boston won last year.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets won the year before that.
You got Milwaukee. You got the Lakers. I know they won during the bubble season.
Damn, I feel like Nuggets won twice, yo.
Nah.
Okay.
But a lot of people they want to blame Westbrook. His performance.
Yo, we ain't doing that. we ain't doing that, yo. Nah.
Oh man.
Nah,
you
Westbrook
always gotta find somebody to blame.
Yeah, Westbrook, one of the greatest point guards ever. Yo, he a dug, yo. Like, no, he nah. Westbrook is in his later days. You know what I'm saying? He's here to try to get a chip. That's it. He's at that stage. You know what I mean? Where it's like San Antonio T-Mac.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you almost forgot he there. Like you know what I mean? Like you almost I'd be like, damn, he was there. Like nah, Russ ain't.
I mean, listen, we've seen this type of play from him with several teams. It's hard, man, when you become one dimensional and you trying to fall within a system. That's built for the team to flourish. You got to figure out a way to adapt. You know what I mean? He's always 0 to 100. But again, like I said, to me that was a drastic decision to make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it was definitely drastic. You could win with Westbrook, but you gotta if you're not able to have the pieces, you know what I'm saying, in place for his skill set, it ain't gonna be that. Especially when being like we was like the 6th man.
I think so. Coming off
the bench.
In several situations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like he gotta have certain man, the best version of Westbrook was in Washington. You know what I'm saying? Like when he had his own team and was running like that, that's probably like the best version of him though. Like he's a great player, bro. But he gotta have the right pieces around him, you know what I mean, to like really be. And he how old is he? He gotta be like Braun 40. Westbrook gotta be like 37, yo. Like in his later days, yo, he been hooping a real long time.
I mean, again, like regardless if Westbrook is the reason or not, to fire your coach, clearly it must have been some issues. They saying it was internal between the coach and the players, difference in opinions. But
it's a players' league, yo, and that's the players' league.
Are they soft? Is that what we saying?
Yes.
Are they uncoachable? I mean,
some, like I mean, yo, you gotta think. Some of them, yo, you hear Jeff Teague and these niggas talk like, yo, some of them are uncoachable.
Well, now Laker fans sitting there rubbing their hands like Birdman because they feeling like, with the addition of Luka this season, and LeBron trying to at least get one more shot at winning one more ring. When it's all said and done.
I ain't gonna front. If they get a chip, bro, that GOAT argument gonna be a smidge different. Like you was not gonna be able to not like him getting the chip at 40.
I mean, ring or not, at the end of the day, he's still a great.
Yeah.
Is it gonna put him above Jordan? To me, no.
Right.
Because you had to play double the amount to try to make it an argument. Which the only argument, the way it was brought to me, was the main dance. He's 6-0. That's it.
It's more than that. It's more than that.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it come down to.
Yeah.
In golf, you gotta have a jacket.
Right.
You big dog, but if you ain't got a couple of these, you can't come in. It's levels to it.
It's the fashion in Jordan. It's how Jordan did it. You know what I'm saying? It's how he did it.
Sometimes I ain't gonna lie. It's like people hate greatness.
Yeah.
Especially when it's to a level it comes off unachievable.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where people are starting to look at Jordan like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Like, yo, he really did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And me being a Kobe fan, I got to acknowledge Jordan's journey because Kobe was this close.
Right.
And to me, Jordan having a Cinderella story, damn near perfect, for somebody to be this close to perfection is like, yo, what more can you ask for? Don't change the standard because someone didn't live up to it. There's so many great, talented players who never got the chip, but that never negated that greatness.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Top 100, 150 NBA player great of all time, but it's a reason why.
It's like the cream of the crop.
Come on. It's the way of life. And to me, what LeBron is great at, his longevity in the game.
That's a skill. Yeah.
You gotta acknowledge that. So why limit it to just the ring conversation?
Right.
We already know that's the easy way out.
Right.
We know that. It's nothing he can do.
Right.
He can win it this year, but they're gonna say, yo, look at all this shit he had to do to get that shit.
But
right?
yo, 10 years from now, they ain't gonna say that.
No.
That it's gonna be like, 5 rings, 4 MVPs.
The way the league going with these players and the pace of the NBA and the game, the way it's played, 10 years, they might not even mention none of this.
Yeah, true.
Come on.
True.
Let's be real. You talking about Steph Curry. As much as we talk about LeBron James, Steph Curry and what he's done for the league.
Yeah, huge.
He's changed it.
Yeah.
Like he got everybody shooting out the parking lot now.
Right.
That's how you change the game for real. So when it's all said and done, you got to leave your legacy on the court. And LeBron, he's going to always be mentioned on that Mount Rushmore.
That's a fact.
Whether you like it
or not.
Not.
Yeah, you ain't going to deny that.
Hate it a lot. Listen.
Yo, niggas got, Did you hear the LeBron songs on IG, yo? Oh my God, they go crazy, yo. That's hilarious.
And don't let Bronny actually be a great player in this league.
What?
And he's coming around.
Yeah, he's coming around. He's killing the G League.
But again, that's all people were saying. Give him grace. When you LeBron's son, there's gonna be expectations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill. However, for any NBA player at that age, they need time to develop.
Shout out Master P, yo. Shout out Hersey Miller, man. He was just in the NCAA finals.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out Houston, bro.
Old,
like,
man. We getting old.
Yeah, we getting old, bro. We getting old, yo.
That's all you saying right now. When I hear these things, like, damn, you hear the Legends kids moving up and making history.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I just seen today. I think they said Dwight Howard. He's in the Hall of Fame or something like that. They got Shaq.
Yeah, he should be though. Man, Dwight Howard was nasty, bro. Like, he was.
I ain't gonna,
crazy. That was crazy.
Right. That was an ill segue. No pun intended. Look, I don't even know whether to believe them stories that Tashi Cannon be saying about that man.
It was wild work. Yeah.
We not gonna do that. We gonna leave it straight positive.
Yeah, man.
Shout out Dwight.
Shout out Dwight Howard, man.
A beast on the block. Like I said, man, I used to see how he had them boys scared in Orlando. They used to foul the hell out of him. Every time he got the ball, he get slapped in the face. I mean, they used to tear him up. But he,
punching shit, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm telling you.
7 foot with bunnies, yo. 7 feet with bunnies was a cheat code, yo. Like, and he locked Jokic up. Everybody's talking on that Jokic shit. And that was old man Dwight. That was old Dwight Howard. Locked Jokic up.
And he still to this day feel like he can help you know, the Lakers, you know what I mean? And in the right situation, yo, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, certain players, you know, in the right role can flourish around the right players. But to see people get their just due.
Yo, they deserve it, man.
Carmelo, now Dwight, I mean.
Definitely deserve it.
Like I said, that's all people ask for in the end. You know, you work so hard. You just want to be validated, acknowledged for the work that you put in. Despite people not really, you know, making it to be a cool thing in regards to just longevity in the game. But it means a lot, man, because people come and go.
Yeah.
So fast. The shelf.
And when you ain't got no stars, y'all, and especially when you got, when man, you remember it was like a void, but it was just like no like superstars. Like, they hype all these players up and they wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a void. It was like a 3-4 year gap of that in the NBA, man, where they was drafting busts and all that.
I mean, to a degree with the foreign players, right? A lot of people was upset about that, but I mean, Jokic, one of the best.
They more skillful. Like they come over more skillful.
Fundamentally.
Yeah, fundamentally.
They learn the fundamentals versus the flash of the game.
Right.
You know, a lot of Zions and them, they came up during the highlight YouTube era.
Right.
A lot of hype beasts. You know what I mean? A lot of foul. This is why to this day people waiting for Zion to be, you know, the next LeBron.
It's not gonna happen.
Come on. Instead, he the next.
Yo, see.
Next Wesley Pipes.
Next Wesley Pipes out here.
Out here wilding.
Yeah.
Him and Anthony Edwards, at least.
Hey, yo, at least Ant-Man keep it G, though. Like, yo, that's some boss.
I don't know.
Like, yo, I mean, listen, when you sign up for that and that's what happened, you can't say it's irresponsible. You know what I mean? You can't say it's irresponsible if a man cut you a check for that child's life, to that child's 18. He was like, how much is it? Okay. I've seen somebody do that. You know what I mean?
I mean, you heard 50 rap about it. You know what I mean? Have a baby by me, be a
millionaire. Yeah.
But with Ant in the situation, it's a matter of just be responsible. Nobody telling you how to live your life, homie. But if you're going to be shooting up the club every chance you get, homie, you only going to make it worse.
Yo, but that's NBA culture. That's NBA for a lot of them. I'm not going to say all of them, but it's an NBA culture. I don't want to
say the NBA because, you know, whenever you get money, it's a lot of people that's you know, that you don't know, right? That probably got 10 children, 12 children. But the point is, when you get older and that money slow down,
right?
You get what I mean? You got to be mindful. They're going to have, you know, responsibilities, families, you know, needs that got to be filled regardless if you're dunking on 3 people, step back, whatever.
Right.
So be smart in the process. Come on. In the end, it don't look good. You got all these women over here talking about he don't want to take care of his kid, regardless if you told him up front or not.
Yo, Young LA got 15 kids. Yo, I seen that. I said, what?
That's what I'm saying. It's just a situation. You know, we get it. You know, when you're rich, you're going to want to live your life. Male, female, it don't matter. But without, you know, everything in moderation, you got to have discipline.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you a target in this league. Look at Zion. You know, it's a reason why these situations keep happening.
Zion ain't had no uncles or nothing, yo. Like, I don't know. He ain't had nobody tell him, you know what I'm saying, like what's what. He just seemed like he just a big ass simp. Like, I don't know. It's either
That's why I say it's hard to.
It's hard.
He's not speaking for himself.
You
letting the social media, you know, and their reaction to everything be the narrative ultimately on what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? I don't hear Zion in interviews. You know what I'm saying? Even Ant, you know, he don't really do too many interviews. Like, he let his game speak for itself. But then when you got these platforms, these gossip platforms and blogs speaking on it, reporting, you be like, yo. You know what I mean? I was like, what is it, a competition between you and Future? Like, what's going on?
Right.
Like, yo, and you young.
Yo, he wild young.
At least get the ring first.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What we celebrate?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
But, you know, it's just something to just
when you got the world at your fingertips like that, though, you can just buy anything, bro. Like in that reality, I'm assuming it's just like,
you can't strap up.
Yeah.
You tie your shoes when you step on the court, don't you? Damn.
Right.
You just jump right on in. It's a dangerous game out here, fam. You can lose your life. Like, for real.
Real rap.
When you look at the numbers, I don't want to scare nobody. They
it's
leave off
real.
the video now, but when you look at these numbers, yo, you just got to take care of yourself. That's it. You know what I mean? You want to lay down with these women? Yo, come on. Take care of yourself, because when now a baby's involved, the baby don't know. You know what I mean? All they know is they here, and now nobody want to be a part of their life.
Right.
Now we got somebody troubled in the streets, ready, you know what I mean, give somebody pain because you ain't do your part. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's true. That is true.
Come on.
But see, in those situations, though, in that particular situation, and if a man decides, because he should have a right to step away if that's the case. You know what I mean? He should have a right to step away if that's the case. If to make a business decision like that and say, okay, I'm just going to pay you in support of the child for the child, but understand that I'm not going to be there for the child. I can't say I respect it. I still think it's sucker shit. But at the same time, everybody can't do that. You know what I mean? Everybody can't do that.
I mean, look,
but at least he did that.
Like I said, I've seen situations, I think, with Al Pacino. I think he just had a child, like a newborn, not long ago. You know, I read something where they said he had money set up because he already making plans. He's not going to be here. He in his 80s.
Right, absolutely.
Having a newborn.
I think De Niro had one too.
That's what I'm saying. So it happens. You know what I mean? But when you start to have 1, 2, 3, 4, look, at the end of the day.
Right. Kids same age.
Come on. You know what I mean?
They not twins.
It got to be some form of accountability. But speaking of accountability, man, it's being reported that Cassie is scheduled to testify against Diddy in his trial, man. What do you think with all of these headlines? I know I've seen a couple reports about people being dismissed, accusers, you know what I mean? Do you think now that the reports about Cassie testifying against Diddy, do you think he has a shot at beating the case? Or?
Oh, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, we don't know everything. So, I mean, we don't know everything. I mean, we know what some of these documentaries have said. You know, we know what people have said. You know, I think there's some level of truth to it. Yeah, you know what I mean. I think there's some level of truth to some of these situations, but I don't know. Like they made Bill Cosby to be a monster, bro, and the reality was y'all was there to do whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all was backstage to do whole shit.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? And that was the reality of it. So, in a Diddy situation, I've heard too many stories from like men. Like it's like I've heard too many stories from like other people outside of just like women, just people in general, where it's like the same behavior. So that sounded more.
Forgive me for laughing. I got a dog sense of humor. I laugh at things I should. I'll tell y'all that right now. But some of the stories and headlines that you see in regards to the accusations being placed against Diddy, it's like, yo, I remembered it with R. Kelly. You know, people say the most outlandish things, and it's like, okay, yo, enough is enough. Like, who is doing these things, and for what? For fame? Because there are those who try to act as if I wasn't at a Diddy party when we all seen half the industry, if not the whole industry, be invited to a Diddy party. That part in itself made people look real guilty.
Right.
And even recently, like this past week, Terrence Howard did an interview saying that he was invited to work with Diddy on numerous occasions, and Diddy would just sit there and look at him.
Right.
Just watch him in the session, just stare at him. And essentially, he never said that Diddy hit on him, but he felt like Diddy was hinting at something else. You know what I mean? After having a conversation with his assistant, the assistant told Terrence Howard, I think Diddy wants to sleep with you. You know what I mean? But is it factual? You get what I mean? A lot of these things, it's you know, where's the facts? At the end of the day, like
I just heard that story just sound consistent with a lot of other people's stories. So I believe that. Okay. That's something I could believe. You know, is it funny? Yes. Yeah, it's funny.
What's going on with you, man?
Yeah.
Hey, man,
say, man.
None of that, man.
Say, man.
None of that. Move your hand. What you mean? Take that. Ain't no taking that over here. Nah.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Nah. I mean,
Lucius, DJ, like he pulled all them niggas out, bro. Like he was like, I ain't going for none of that shit.
I seen Charlamagne say hustle and blow.
Yeah,
Nah, they doing too much. They doing too much.
Hustle and blow, crazy work.
Terrence Howard is a deep guy. I ain't gonna lie. You know, he comes off very intellectual, right? A lot of people try to make it seem like he's, you know, not as intelligent because he can get deep real quick.
Yeah.
But again, him, making these claims in the interview, people, take him for face value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When has he ever been known to be a liar? It's just, again, right now with the timing of everything, I think we're like a month away from Diddy's trial actually starting. So, again,
I heard Vlad said he knows somebody who's in the feds, and they said that he might get bail. That Diddy might get bail.
Okay, I mean, it's not far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched.
Some of these accusations being dismissed by the lawyers, right? Some of the lawsuits, because it's absurd. You know what I mean? It took for Jay-Z to do what he did with the Tony Busby, right, to expose the lies and all of the work that was put into the fabricating the lies, even the intent and him putting out the lies, the timing of it. It lets you know it's a plan. And when you have those online who speak on these takedowns, right, these witch hunts, as they would say, there's truth to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't constantly keep saying people are crazy.
Right.
Right? Even with R. Kelly in his situation, people don't want to defend R. Kelly.
Right. It's like, R. Kelly broke. And then it's like, hold on. They tried to buy R. Kelly masters? R. Kelly won't sell his masters?
But again, when you see unlike everyone else, you see the interviews, you see the clips, it don't help R. Kelly's case.
Right.
Did you get your passport?
Right.
Did you get your shots? It's like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm his lawyer, I'm pissed. I'm like, yo, you making my case even worse than it needs to be. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, we understand that there are those within this country who don't want to see our people succeed and have a long, illustrious career in this world. This is why you have to live on such a tight rope.
Yeah.
Look at Denzel, you know what I mean? As soon as he put on a dress, you know what I mean? People whole vision and perception become shattered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this man has been, one of the innovators when it comes to the image of our people.
Absolutely.
For decades. You know what I mean? So now it's like, yo, don't shatter that perception.
Right.
But come on, Morgan Freeman, I mean, who's the oldest one? Samuel Jackson. In this system,
Morgan Freeman the oldest, I believe.
Yeah. But no one is safe.
Yeah.
You one accusation away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so that's why when Jay-Z did what he did, and it's to the point now where homie might lose his license as a lawyer.
Right.
It just shows that every lawyer is not for justice.
Right.
They out for a check.
For a check, right.
And if they got the opportunity to attach their name to someone like a Diddy and being responsible for winning a case against that high profile name, they'll do whatever it takes. I learned that from Gloria Allred, a certain people within within that culture that's strategically, you know what I mean? They single out certain people, certain cases for that. You know what I mean? Hopes to settle out a world-class lawsuit.
Yeah, absolutely.
For $100 million.
Yeah.
But it's never to get them to testify.
Right.
Because then the lies get exposed. They try to settle out of court. But
I think
that's the crazy part, man.
Yo, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out during court, yo. I
want to see the evidence.
I want to see the evidence. Yeah,
you know I mean, not on no freaky shit, but I'm saying I need to see some physical evidence,
right?
Not testimony, not hearsay.
Yeah,
because that's the part about how they rigged the game.
Yeah, they supposed to have all these drives and whatnot. You know what I'm saying with evidence and whatnot because they said yo record everything. So
Because my thing is when they raided the cribs, why they didn't arrest him then? Right? If he was guilty after they raided the cribs, why didn't they arrest him then?
Good question.
Normally when the raids happen, where we from, if you've been blessed to be a part of one, when the door get kicked open and the tear can, poof, all that shit happens, everybody getting plastics on them. Unless you're a juvenile or something.
Right.
Everybody, you gone. So, and that when I didn't see him get arrested, then I said, hold up. Maybe they don't have nothing. You start hearing about baby oil and all that.
Right.
Then the video gets leaked.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold up now, maybe the feds.
Yo, damn, what was it, yo? Who was it that premiered that video? One of these companies that had the video, like it got destroyed or something. Somehow.
I think they said the hotel had it.
The hotel, yeah.
But this is all, speculation, but to me, I looked at it like maybe Diddy had his own copy. and during the raid they obtained it.
Yeah, possibly.
Because they didn't have nothing on him to lock him up at the moment. Let's release this video to ruin his credibility.
Credibility, right.
You know what I mean? The homie came out publicly a long time ago and said, yo, there's things I've done with Cassie I'm not proud of.
Right.
You know, physically, I put
nobody was tripped off of it.
No.
I mean, it still looked bad. Yeah,
right? When you maintain your innocence
when you
for so long.
Like the public perception of it wouldn't, the blow would have
on.
been lessened a lot.
This is why they talk about extortion.
Right.
And why Cassie came to him first, like, yo, I need a check. Or I ain't getting the check, I'm putting out the book.
Right.
I'm exposing, yada, yada. You know what I mean? And there's truth to that. That's a situation that could have possibly happened. But again, compared to some of the shit we've heard on the internet.
Yeah, I heard he extorted Ron Leslie for her. Yo, that's what I heard. He blackballed Ron Leslie for her. Like, that's how he got her.
But let Ryan tell it, you know, it's not the case.
It's not the case,
you know
right.
what I mean? So, like I said, he's going to have his day in court. He's going to have his day in court, man. And but I know so much we've heard, you know, in the past year.
Yeah.
You know, you might have been on YouTube, seen some videos, maybe from AI or some shit.
Yo, listen. These AI YouTube videos be tricking y'all niggas too, yo. Yo, they be tricking a lot of y'all niggas out, man. I seen a video, bro. I was like, ain't none of this shit true. Like, I'm just sitting there reading. I'm like, yo, this is not true. Like, I knew it was.
Yo, for those who don't know, it's apps for everything. You know, you can find an app to create a script. You then find an app to find a voiceover to narrate the script.
Right.
Then you find an app to create your visuals. You know, AI for all of that, but whole time you thinking this is a person. I mean, essentially they put the whole play together. But no, this is AI narrating this whole video from an angle that you like from way left field. You know what I mean? Like certain people don't have integrity. It's about the money. I get it. You know.
Yeah.
But that's the part of the game that you know they don't tell you about, man. It's wild. I ain't gonna lie, yo. You gotta.
It's a nasty work, man. It's nasty work.
But Boosie, man, I seen your boy. I seen Kanye dissing Boosie now. I mean, it's Kanye running out of people to diss, man.
He apologized to Jay-Z, as he should have, yo, about the kids.
Did he apologize?
Yeah. I seen a tweet he made, and he apologized to Jay-Z.
I didn't see that one because I know he'll take it back in a heart.
Right.
That's why it's hard to take him serious.
Him
dissing Boosie at this point, who recently was seen during the aftermath of a car accident. Again, situation happened. Kanye was sitting there basically saying, like, you know, see what happened when you go against me? You know what I mean?
Yo, he's
yourself.
wild, bro. Yo, it's wild, yo. Like, and it's funny, but it's not because, yo, he really need help, bro. You know what I mean? So he really need help. But, yo.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like, damn, yo, this man just got in a car accident.
He even said F. Kai Senate. He dissing the streamers now. I mean,
streamers is weird too. I seen the Ray J joint, yo, with Casanat.
No, I didn't watch. What is Ray J doing with them kids?
Ray J was like, yo, I want to sleep over with y'all too.
Nah.
On everything, bro. On everything.
That's the power of attention and the fame.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's flocking to wherever's lit and thinking that it's gonna rub off on them. And listen, if it's genuine and it's meant to be, then
he said, yo, didn't y'all take a shower together? Yo, everything I love, bro.
There was a video of him and Speed taking a shower together.
He's like, yo, I want to take a shower with y'all too. This Rage, yo. I was like, yo, whoa.
See?
I was like, yo,
He better hope he ain't on none of them videos.
What?
I'll tell you right now, that industry is weird, man. I think it's just all for the attention. You know what I mean? And I don't want to ruffle no feathers, but with Kanye, he's running out of options. You get what I mean? And now people have really tuned him out. You know, even J. Cole recently spoke on him. He could have, went at Kanye, but he didn't. He acknowledged all of the things Kanye's done for his career. So, in the end, hopefully the music matched the hype, like we said last week in the previous episode. But yeah, man, like I said, it's bad when he dissing streamers. I'm like, ain't nobody left on the list. I mean,
the streamers, I'd be like, who was this nigga? And then I have to look, and I'd be like, damn, okay, like, that's wild.
I don't have the time.
Right.
Respectfully, I'm working, trying to supply and demand to people. You know what I mean? I don't have 3-4 hours, 12 hours to watch a stream. I realized we missed out as children. When we was doing sleepovers, staying up all night playing a video game, to me, that made so much sense. That's when I started to get it, like, okay, I get it now. You know what I mean? But at 34, I'm not about to be on cam lighting up no fireworks in the basement. Nah, bro, I'm cranky. I'm ready to go to bed.
Real rap.
It is. It comes with life, man.
Yeah.
But I wanted to before we let y'all go, did you see Mass Appeal? Nas and they dropped the trailer. Apparently they got 7 new albums coming soon, man. Apparently we got new albums coming from Slick Rick. Got a new album coming out. Raekwon, Ghostface. We got a Mobb Deep album coming. Big L, De La Soul, and of course the long-awaited Nas and DJ Premier album dropping soon. They put out the trailer earlier today, man. Are you excited?
I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it, bro. Like I would listen to Slick Rick. Yo, I almost guarantee Slick Rick got some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I know Ray got some shit. I know Ghost got some shit. It's Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? Like Big L with updated sounds. I guarantee he's probably a go. Nas and Premier is legendary, and yeah, I would listen to all these projects, bro. It's not one I wouldn't give it a listen.
That's why I say hip hop isn't dead, man. We in a space where the internet, has made everything spread out. But as you can see, a lot of the vets, I always felt like they need more grace in releasing projects. Of course, there's going to be criticism, but at the same time, we got to give them grace because it's, they're not 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the music might not be as good as it once was.
Right.
But things have changed.
But yo, they still rap better than a lot of y'all favorite rappers.
That's a fact. That's what killed me.
Fact.
That's what killed me about it.
They still rap better than a majority of the rappers out right now. Majority of them.
I'm trying to tell you, like, that Nas and DJ Premier one, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be
I'm
fun.
curious to hear that because the run that Nas and Hit Boy did,
incredible.
Yo,
incredible.
It's ill. But just a little, hip hop news for y'all. And lastly, I see that the reviews are coming out for the Sinners movie with Michael B. Jordan. And so far, man, it's sounding good. I ain't gonna lie, this is like a horror movie. It's giving me like Dusk Till Dawn a little bit. Kind of gives me that kind of vibe. You know what I mean? But
it's a vampire. Yo, I love movies like that though. I ain't gonna front.
You excited for it?
I'm excited for it, yo, because I heard it's supposed to be like this movie's supposed to be like a door to like a whole universe.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's supposed to be like opening the door to a whole universe on this side. So like I'm there for it. Like them type movies. Like I'm into. So definitely.
Yeah, it looked like he playing 2 roles. Like
it's supposed to be like twins.
Yep, a twin situation.
Yeah.
My bad. It's like I said, yo, we got some shit coming out. I think it come out April 18th, which is next Friday. But so far, so good, man. Like I said, I'm curious to see a good movie. I haven't seen a good movie in a long time, man. A lot has changed post-COVID. And, like I said, we just evolving in a different space. But outside of that, man, again, we appreciate each and every one of y'all tuning in with us every week.
It's a fact, man.
You know what I mean? Like I said, we go through enough as it is trying to get, to this point throughout the week. We get here to bless y'all. So we appreciate the support and just, look forward to more dope content moving forward. But, yeah, man, that's it. You know what I mean? Enjoy y'all weekend. Take care of yourselves. And, tune in. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, man. Free Carmelo, man. Stay dangerous.
Real shit, y'all. We out. Peace.
Peace.